And my problem is Aisha's got fucking nothing. I want her to have something. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Mushoku Tensei. We come back as we normally do with notes and a board. So let's go ahead and look at that board real quick. Where we have a new feature to go along with the board changelog. And I don't know if this is going to be visible enough for you, considering how, well, medium-sized the board is, but here we go. The board changelog, I connected Roxy to Genus, Zenoba, Juliet, Procina, Luke, Asura, and Nanahoshi with a green line. And I created a family group line connecting Rudy and Sylphet to Lucy. Again, hopefully visible enough for you. Trying to make the changes something you can actually see rather than staring at a board that does nothing. So, let me know. Anyway, on to notes. Not in love with the fact that Rudy himself wonders if Roxy might be too young. I mean, we know that she's a lot older than most of the people in the group. But no one wins any points in the 1,000-year-old vampire looks like a little girl game. Just another thing that put a lot of people off of Mushoku Tensei in the first place, unashamedly bringing it back in the 3rd episode of the season. Apparently a sacred runa is a whirl of white hair associated with the Buddha, as per Rudy associating Roxy with the Buddha as he does. But is he also suggesting that she has chest hair? Such an awkward conversation. How was Rudy last night? I get it, it's complete buy-in by the characters to their polyamorous relationship. It's still just a mental hurdle for me to get over. I'm not still complaining. As per my statements at the end of last episode, if they are happy with it, where do I get to complain? It's just not what I would have wished for them, that's all. At the same time, I just can't expect that Eris will ever come back and be accepting of it. I hope we manage to do something with Zenith this season, that she's not going to remain this way forever. I wouldn't be surprised if she did, though, given the way that the show likes to make our characters pay for their happiness in one way or another. I'd just like to get Zenith back, especially after we lost Paul. It's a real turnaround from Season 1, that Roxy is the one that got Rudy out and into the world, and here he is introducing her to a world of new people. When I see Persina and Linnea, all I can think of is to remember back to Human God saying that Rudy should have kids with them, which makes me think it definitely will happen at some point, despite them saying that they'd find someone themselves. That there must be some reason that Rudy was brought here and encouraged to have as big a family as possible. I still don't know what Human God is up to, but I guess that is the nature of Human God. Just kind of make stuff happen by it, well, either making stuff happen or just knowing what will happen. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of everything, Human God is just Rudy. Rudy telling himself what to do. Can't help but notice that Juliet, Zenoba, and Ginger show up, and Rudy only says hi to Zenoba and Juliet. I have to assume it was due to the fact that Ginger said nothing the whole episode, because she also shows up later when Zenoba and Cliff are giving him the glove, meaning her voice actor wasn't recording for this. Actually, I'm going to check something real quick. This is going to be an obvious edit here, but I'm going to check something real quick. Alright, I just had to check. The voice actress for Ginger only voices Ginger. I just want to make sure that they didn't voice a bunch of different characters, so my indication that they weren't doing work this season or something wasn't in play. At the same time, though, they haven't done any voice acting since 2024, so they're not listed for the current season of Mushoku Tensei either. So I guess Ginger's not going to get any lines. But it is a weird choice to have somebody who's currently being voiced not address the fact that they are still in the room. It just makes Rudy look rude, I guess. Rude Rudy. Here's hoping Nanahoshi isn't covering up for a darker reason for her coughing. Could be nothing. Then again, with this show, could be running out of time. It's interesting to know, given Cliff's hinted backstory, that he still hangs around the church. Maybe we'll delve back into it this season. See Zenith's sister and that other girl again. So the automaton, despite being named as such, had within it the secret to being controlled by will, which then makes me wonder if someone might not still be around from when it was made. Oh, or somebody who knows how to control it, rather. Also, I don't really have much to say about Rudy instantly getting over losing his hand. The automaton thing was set up before he lost it, so making use of a Chekhov's gun is to be appreciated. Also, it is still a weakness, just less of one than it was before. Though, considering it, did he need his hand to cast magic? I mean, it's incantationless, and the implication of the hand activation scene was that the magic flows through him like a circuit. I mean, it very much looks like Fate to me now, Shiro, in his thing. So, shouldn't extending his stump out be the same thing, right? Why wouldn't the magic flow through him the same way and just out where the stump is instead of the hand? There doesn't seem to be any process to this motion. It just seems like that's just where the magic comes out. Like he could imagine a hand there, and the magic should flow from that, right? And despite everything I said at the start about not harping on it, the end of the episode makes me unsatisfied. He spends the night with Roxy and admires her body in the morning, while Sylphie sleeps elsewhere. He clearly was with Sylphie tonight, but he sneaks away from her to worship Roxy's panties. I know it's not infidelity, they both accept each other as his wives. What it is favoritism. Despite settling with Sylphie and having a baby together, the moment Roxy came back, he seemed to have started preferring her and his hang-up over his imagined her more than what he already had. That doesn't sit right with me. It's not so much a problem with the overall relationship, but Rudy's position in it. My final note here. I really liked the ending credits, though. Rudy at the end goes on about the journey so far and how it brought him back to a normal life. Meanwhile, the credits are that same journey reflected in Eris's blade, and then how it brought her to this new life that she's living. Even with an added shot of her happy life before the encounter with Orsted. Sorry, I said that weirdly, but you know what I meant. And then her determination to get stronger after that. Unlike my arguments about what really constituted a turning point in the past, running into Orsted really was the biggest of all the turning points. Anyway, that was the board. Those were my notes. Nothing left to do but to see what we get from this episode.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I always love it when I start the show with my volume turned up all the way. Oh no. Don't make me remember Paul even more. Maybe I'm gonna get what I was asking for. Maybe they're gonna go on a journey to help solve Zenith's problem.
おはようございます、皆さん。今日立たれるんですね。なんで先輩、寂しいのか?
I mean, we haven't seen you in forever, Geese.
やつへの義理立てとしてはちと長すぎたくらいじゃ。
ベラとシェラはもうとっくに立っちまったしな。
Well, I mean, that's good to know that the sisters left. I mean, to be fair, they got back to their normal lives already. Just kind of sucks that we missed out on these guys having been here the whole time. Sorry, it only just occurred to me that they're implying that they stayed here the entire time after the labyrinth.
だから新入りでいいって。家族も増えて何かと入りようなんだろ。遠慮せず受け取ってくれって。家族を大切にな。はい。
What a weird windfall. The element that he's being rewarded essentially for death. I mean, he's not being rewarded. I don't know what to think of it. Sorry, I was slightly also put off because it seemed like an opening. And Season 2 felt weird because it had openings. where I think we all really just appreciated the element that Mushoku Tensei just had these transitions that were the show itself. There was no takeaway from the time of the episode. I guess other than the ending credits. Then again, I guess I still also really wish Aisha was able to live her own life and not be forcibly modeled to be a maid. Sorry, what I was gonna say is, I guess we do kind of have too many characters that we do care about and want to see to appreciably be able to actually see them all. Any time spent with Geese, Tallhand was the other guy's name, wasn't it? And Elise is time we can't spend with the family, right? Though to be fair, I want more time with Eris. 2 episodes was not enough.
お兄ちゃん、おかえり。ただいま。シルフィってもう出かけた？お兄ちゃんが出てすぐにお仕事行っちゃったよ。そっか。
Zenith recognizes what a weed is.
収入ないんだよな。妻が働いて夫が無職ってのはどうなんだろう。
アイシャ、母さんはいつからそれを？結構前だよ。最初はお母さんも止めてたんだけど、私が庭いじりすると手伝ってくれるの。
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like she's actually pulling out the good stuff.
ロキシーさん、なんでやらかすんですか？
ゼニスはブエナ村で庭の草木を大切にしていた。
Yeah, was that tree that
しているのだろうか、この行動は。何はともあれ、記憶を取り戻すきっかけになりそうなら止めることはないか。
ところでアイシャ、母さんのことはお母さんと呼んでもいいんだぜ。お母さんがゼニス様か奥様って呼びなさい。
What I just say? I don't like this element of how Aisha's being brought up.
まあいいか。家族であれば呼び名なんて些細なことだ。それにこうしているのを見るとまるで親子だ。
お兄ちゃん、今日お休みなんだよね。ああ。だったら後で私の部屋に来て。
Don't know anything about that. Aisha's been her own little weirdness.
なかなか笑ってくれないな。ルーデウス様の小さな頃を思い出します。
Do you think Lucy has been isekai'd into this world?
様を笑わせようと苦心しておられました。そうですか。
そんなこともあったっけな。
That Rudy's gonna have a line of people who have been isekai'd into children.
なんでしょう。ちょっと様子を見てきます。
I mean, to be fair, the house did have a secret compartment with an automaton in it, right? What was that? That was this house, wasn't it? Oh, Aisha's being weird again. The 3 seconds into the future eyesight. Oh, is Aisha a botanist?
なんで今まで黙ってたんだ？言おうと思ってたんだよ。でもお兄ちゃん忙しそうだったから後にしようって。そしたら先に見つけられちゃったの。
Or is it just some, like a pet thing?
トゥレントはこの世界の魔物の代表格。言ってみれば某 RPG のスライムのような存在だ。
Like a roper.
しかし、
こいつ最初から動いてたのか？最初は動かなかったよ。ってことは何かが原因で魔物化したのか。何か変わったことはしてないか？特にはしてないと思うけど。
What did you feed Aisha?
でもたまにお風呂の残り湯を与えたりしてたかな。
シルフィーやアイシャの汗が溶け出した残り湯。なるほど。それならエッチな触手を伸ばすようになってもおかしくない。ってそんなわけあるか。
まあ原因が何であれ、焼くかどうかして処分した方がいいな。せっかく育てたのに何も焼くことはないでしょ。アイシャ、こいつはトゥレント。
I mean, I can imagine they're gonna plant it in the yard or something. Then Zenith's gonna get in trouble with it.
人を襲わないようにちゃんとしつけるからねえお兄ちゃん飼ってもいいでしょ
可愛くしてもダメだ。
My problem is Aisha's got fucking nothing. I want her to have something.
見ててお手
I mean, it'd be cool if she was like the first monster rancher or whatever.
ダメだ。
分かった。どうしてもダメって言うなら私にも考えがあるから。あのこと、シルフィーネとロキシーネに言うか
The
ら。
shrine in the basement to her panties.
地下室の隠し部屋のこと。
Of course, the maids would know everything.
あの祭壇のことか。
アイシャ、俺はお前のためを思って。
私はお兄ちゃんがどんな変態でももう気にしないけど、シルフィーネとロキシーネはどう思うかな。特にロキシーネはずーっと昔のパンツをあんな風に飾られてどう思うか
I
な。
mean, yeah, it's hers, but you married her, so it's.
なんてやつだ。人が安
I'd be
全
more
を
worried about
守
what
っている
Sylphie
と
would
いう
think.
のに脅すなんて。くそ。どうすればいい。どうするのがベストだ。お神よ。
私の名前が聞こえましたが。
なんでロキシーがここに学校は
Yeah, didn't we literally just leave you? Okay, never mind.
あのね、ロキシーネ、お兄ちゃんがロキシーネの。
Best interests at heart is what she was going to say, obviously.
トゥレントですね。
そうなんですよ、ロキシー。アイシャのやつが栽培するとか言い出して。でも魔物だし危険でしょ。ロキシーからもダメって言ってやってくれませんか。
いいのではないですか。トゥレントもきちんと育てれば人に懐きますし、この大きさなら危険なことはないでしょう。
Yeah, but I think the idea is that it would get bigger eventually.
はい。
Last thing we want is a hanging
片手
tree.
の害鳥よけに飼育していますしね。
Before you think I have to say anything, that's actually the name of a monster. Lures you in to sleep under it and then
お
hangs
兄
you.
ちゃんが間違っていたよ。
お兄ちゃんも私のことを考えてくれてたんだね。
ああ、もちろんだ。
じゃああのことは黙っておいてあげる。
I'm glad at least she has some leverage now in the house. Though it's not going to work on Lilia, her mother.
何なんですか。
こうして我が家のペットにトゥレントが加わった。名前はビート。それにしてもあの祭壇を見つけるとは本当にメイドは侮れないな。
おお、普通の魔術だけじゃなく結界魔術も無効化できるのか。幻の魔石と言われるだけあるな。
ええ、もっと詳しく調べていきましょう。
ああ、
I don't remember the
イー
crystal.
スからもらったヒュドラの鱗は正
Oh,
式な名を
from the
ヒューマ
Hydra,
石
never
という
mind.
らしい。実験の結果、その効果は魔力で生成されたものを瞬時に分解するというものだと分かった。
So we can make anti-magic armor, is that what I'm
相
hearing?
手だった。
Seems like that would help against Orsted, but Orsted was
もう
also
少
a
しだけ続けませんか。
physical
別に構わ
monster.
ないが、そんなに急ぐようなことか。
いえ、そういうわけではないです。
Then again, not that Rudy wants to go out to fight Orsted. That's a
またい
Eris
つ
thing.
か家族に危険が迫ることがあるかもしれない。その時のために今できることをできるだけやっておくべきだと思うのだ。もう誰も失いたくないから。
ルーデウス。
師匠、遅くなりました。ザノバシーロン、ただいま参上いたしました。
She's definitely going to be wearing a glove.
いや、遅すぎるだろ。今
No?
日は旧
Okay,
魔石
never
の
mind.
実験をするって言っていたじゃないか。
いやはや、
I figured you'd be wearing a glove because she's carrying a statue.
しまいましたゆえ。
例の自動人形の
Which would mean that he finally was able to craft a statue he didn't destroy.
人形の内部を解体したところ、中心部に大きな魔石を発見したのです。てっきり一つの魔石。
グランドマスター、これできました。
Oh, she made it.
魔石がいくつも組み合わされてできていることが分かりましてな。これは今までの常識を覆す。
That's like his quality.
いかがでしょう、ジュリの修行の成果は。世のひいき目かもしれませんが、師匠の
She is fucking adorable.
出来ではないかと。
ああ、 いい出来だ。
師匠の目から見てもやはりおお、よかったなジュリ。毎日コツコツと修行を続けてきた甲斐があったな。
I wish we had a scene with Tall Hand and Julie to see his opinion on what the hell's going on here.
みんなと一緒に。
これからうちで晩ご飯でもどうだ？
なんとよろしいのですか？
ああ、ルーシーをみんなにも紹介したかったしな。
そういうことでしたらお言葉に甘えさせていただきましょう。
グランドマスター、ありがとうございます。
ジュリ、粗相のないようにするのだぞ。
はい、マスター。
研究はいいのか？
はい、ひとまず今日のところは。明日からも引き続き手伝いをお願いしてもいいですか？
We have too much testing going on, I want to say. Because we haven't even gone back to
あ
Nanahoshi
りがと
yet,
うございます。
who we've also have to help test.
さて。
Because again, I'm worried about the coughing thing.
スペルト族名誉回復計画も進んでいる。家族との関係は良好。何もかもが順調だ。
Like I said, we got a lot on our plate.
あとは
Ironically, I mean, not because of the
次
scene.
のステップに進む頃かもしれない。
But I guess this time at least, none of it's like deadly.
ね、いいでしょ？お願いしますって。一回だけでいいんです。
ちょっと
よく考えてみてください。互いに悪い
Better not
話
be
じゃないは
Norn
ずですよ。
for a reason to kill
確かに
somebody.
今はちょっと嫌かもしれませんが、でも長い目で見ればきっとお互いにとってプラスになるはずです。ね、いいでしょ？
Oh, it's Rudy and Roxy.
生徒会だ。日本のフィッツだ。フィッツ先輩、最近ぐっと可愛くなったよな。ルーデウスが女性
Surprised they're still calling her Silent Fits.
通報が来たんだが。
Oh, she's a teacher. She's not a student.
あとは任せる。解散だ。
That was Luke, right?
はあ、女生徒ですか。
仕方ありません。まだロキシーが教師だという認識は薄いみたいですし。
I mean, Luke should know better.
ねルディ、いくら結婚したからって無理は良くないよ。女の子には嫌な時もあるんだからね。
うん、もちろん分かってるさ。
そりゃ
I don't know that Rudy would know that.
上手かもしれないけどさ、僕だっているんだから。
What'd I say? Favoritism.
しかして。
His favoritism is obvious to Sylphie.
シルフィが嫉妬してくれてる。
嫉妬ってほどじゃないけど。
心配いらないよシルフィ。もちろんシルフィを仲間外れにするつもりなんてないから。
そんな、じゃあ3人でってこと？
ああ、そうさ。2人で一緒にロキシーに教えてもらおう。
私はまだいいとは言ってません。
Yeah, Rudy, that's your thing.
シルフィだって習いたいだろ？
ごめんルディ、何の話だっけ？
ロキシーに水曜級魔術を教えてもらおうと思って頼んでたんだ。
Okay. I don't think anyone's to blame for thinking that Rudy would be up to anything, right?
言うことも聞くし、おとなしいし、力もあります。
Also, I've clearly forgotten because I thought Rudy was already mastering water magic.
シルフィは馬に詳しいんですか？
I thought the whole point of traveling in season 1 was that Rudy had already surpassed Roxy in water magic.
さぞ立派なのでしょうね。すいません。もちろんあなたも立派ですよ。何せグレイラット家の馬ですからね。
師匠、カラバッチョを覚えていますか？
はい、パウロさんの馬です。懐かしいですね。
あの時もこうして馬に乗って。
I don't really remember.
何の話？
I mean, the riding, the time I brought it up in the notes.
あの時は
Like you said,
まだシルフィとも知り合う前だった。
how funny it is that Roxy got Rudy out into the world, and now Rudy's introducing Roxy to the rest of the world.
ちょっとブエナ村に似てるな。
言われてみれば、
そうかも。
Yeah, all it's missing is all the people waving hi to him. Point lately, we're not remembering that one kid that we had to beat up to leave Sophie alone. Did we put the horse in? Oh, right, because the water magic goes fucking crazy sometimes. We don't want it to be struck by lightning or something.
大丈夫です。
あの木に向けて水曜級魔術ライトニングを放ちます。 よく見てい
as
てください。
per, because it happened.
では始めます。雄大なる水の精霊にして天に上がりし来帝の王子よ、我が願いを叶え凶暴なる恵みをもたらし矮小なる存在に力を見せつけよ。神なる金槌を金床に打ちつけてイフを示し大地を水で埋め尽くせ。
おや
I guess I'm still.
これはキュムロニンマスじゃないか。
あらゆるものを駆逐せよ。雄大なる光の精霊にして天を支配せし
The ending music. Or the next time on music.
そびえ立つものが見えるか。傲慢なりし帝の恩敵が我は神なる天にてかの者を一撃に打倒せんとする者なり光り輝く力を持って帝の意を知らしめん。ライトニング。
I guess she's the match for that girl from Konosuba.
おっと、大丈夫ですか？
成功してよかった。私の魔力では杖を使っても一度が限界ですので。
And yet I feel like we did this back in season 1 faster with less consequence.
やってみます。
I'm I really must just be misremembering what happened in season 1. Because I thought we were already at this level.
雄大なる水の精霊にして天に上がりし来帝の王子よ。
I can only imagine that Rudy is going to fucking destroy the landscape.
矮小なる存在に力を見せつけよ。
Because he's been boosting his mana reserves the entire time, so he can do.
大地を水で埋め尽くせ。あ、雨よ。すべてを押し流し、あらゆるものを駆逐せよ。
This is what I'm remembering from season 1.
雄大なる光の精霊にして天を支配せし来帝よ。そびえ立つものが見えるか。傲慢なりし帝の恩敵が我は神なる剣にてかの者を一撃に打倒せんとする者なり光り輝く力を持って帝の意を知らしめ。ライトニング。
Like I said, Rudy has basically infinite mana. He's not going to be stopped by running out of power. Again, this is the guy that Eris idolizes.
ちょっと悔しいな。結局できなかったのは僕だけか。
私でも5回に1回は失敗しますから。
ルディは1回で成功だもん。やっぱりすごいよ。
そうですね。
Rudy did it when he was a child.
とは思っていましたが、ああも簡単に成功してしまうとちょっとへこみます。
Again, my confusion is that I thought Roxy was already at that level, Rudy was already at that level. They should just be training Sylphet to do it.
私は今でもあの迷宮の中にいて、死ぬ間際に幸せな夢を見ているだけなんじゃないかと。私はこの半年で随分と幸せになりました。結婚もできましたし、教師にもなれました。シルフィーにとっては邪魔者かもしれませんが。
I'm sure half the audience does.
馬に乗れていることを好ましく思っています。
邪魔だなんてそんなことはないよ。僕だってロキシーと仲良くできるのは嬉しいもの。ルディの取り合いになったら多分僕は勝てないからね。
Don't start that. Don't start that. I'm already sure the audience is like, no, don't.
ルディがすごく困ってる時に再会できて助けることができたから。そうじゃなきゃ僕なんてルディに見向きもされないよ。
Because I know that Roxy actually did come first. But again, Sylphet was the one that was there.
ロキシーに連れ出してもらったから外に出れた。シルフィーが許してくれたからこそ今の幸せな状況がある。そんな俺が二人を大切にすると口にしたところで上辺だけのものにしか聞こえないだろう。だから行動で示していこう。
My problem is
彼女たちを
I just constantly want to
家
move
族を
past
守るために
the argument that's in my head about all this. But I can't because the show keeps bringing it back. I would be remiss to say that I wasn't literally thinking of like tier listing the wives. Not the wives. 2 of the wives and 1 other person. Because in my head it goes Eris, Sylphette, Roxy. And that's just preference for the characters. When it comes to wives, obviously I'm teetering in every direction on that one. On one hand, I understand why he's in love with Roxy. She is the one that basically saved him. If it's not for Roxy, he never would have left the house ever to have even met Sylphette. Sylphette would be in whatever situation she was in to start with, ostracized by, I guess, the local town people. Eris, though. Eris is just Eris. Eris didn't even have to do anything to help Rudy out. I would love Eris for being Eris. Now, granted, if Eris never met Rudy, she'd still be that girl that she was, again, before she met him, which would be horrible. So obviously, it is the Eris that is improved by Rudy's presence that I like. The Eris that became this Eris. Please be an Eris episode. That could be celebrations for graduation, for becoming a sword king, sword emperor, not sword god, that'd be way too quick. I just can't help but think it's going to be celebrations for something at the school again. I understand that Mushoku Tensei is essentially Rudy's life, right? I want more Eris. The entire season 2, I'm just like, where's Ghislaine and Eris gone? Not getting that now. But, well, actually, technically, I was saying that a lot, but I'm not unhappy with what I got from season 2. Obviously, that was a very complicated, touching, and emotional story from Rudy's depression to his search for his mother to raising a family, dealing with erectile dysfunction, losing his dad, regaining his mother with some loss. Like, it was a great season. I'm not complaining. I just wish there was Eris. And now we started with a hint of Eris, and now she's gone again. But I guess the super tease of that being that she's not so far away that she couldn't be here, you know? The fact that, sorry, I forgot her name already, the blue-haired girl that is the daughter of Sword God. She just showed up here and found Rudy. So that's how easy Rudy is to find. But I understand that Eris doesn't want to show up in front of Rudy again until she's as powerful as she can be. Which, I mean, not for nothing, could be a lifetime's work. I don't know. I don't know. My tier list again: Eris, Sylphette, Roxy. And I think if it comes to wives, obviously I would change that to Sylphette, Roxy, Eris. Eris is down here. She's not a wife. That's the only reason I would move her down the list. Roxy gets to be put in second place there because she's technically a wife. I suppose you could somewhere make the argument for the fact that Eris claimed Rudy first, right? She says that in episode 1 of the season. So in some world, she may think that they're together, even though she left, but then again, she doesn't understand what Rudy went through when she left. For her, it was a thing for a purpose. For him, it was just painful, stabbed through the heart. I don't think I have much to say about this episode specifically, because it is what it is, right? Juliet was adorable. She made a statue, even though, again, I think Sonoba is like her dad at this point. I almost think that him and Ginger are in a relationship, but I can't fucking pinpoint it. Ginger might just be bodyguarding him. I can't tell. She won't speak. Anyway, Juliet being adorable. Aisha being adorable, but also creepy. Again, the element of, what do you want? You want to go eat food? You want to take a bath? You want to play with Mary? Like, I don't know, Aisha. You picked up too much shit from your mom. I'm sure the Trent thing is going to come into play later. Hopefully it's not because they keep showing us that animal that they've got in like a dog pen thing outside. Going to get eaten by the Trent at some point. Little Shop of Horrors, if you're familiar. Hopefully, I said I hope we get more from Zenith, that she starts recovering, and she's pulling weeds out of the ground. which I have to think is not inherent behavior, learned behavior, like muscle memory, something like that. Even Rudy points out that she used to take care of the yard, and we saw back to the tree that got knocked over during his and Roxy's first magic training test thing. It's all coming together. I'm just hoping that we do go back to Eris some more, I guess. Well, that said, obviously next episode I'll come back with notes of more in-depth thoughts here. So, I guess until then, once again, I've still been Theta. This has still been Stone-Faced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?